Terra's Story, Chapter 14. Wow, Joni whispered into Terra's ear. Cap is strung up tight today. Think it's more than this unseasonal deluge. The rain that had been pounding the windows of the building was still making a racket. Terra squinted to look closer, and she could see Cap's tension, too. While their boss appeared casual as he leaned on the edge of the desk in the staff room, she saw that the muscles in his jaw bulged and the vein in his neck protruded. She also noticed that his hands wanted to clench into fists, and he kept having to relax his fingers. When he started to speak, he coughed several times to clear his throat. Okay, people, listen up. This news is going to keep us super busy for the foreseeable future. Word from on high is that these rains and the flooding have caused a couple of big problems. 1, our water purification plant has lost power. That means you all better get in a supply of drinking water as soon as possible. He held up his hand as the room erupted with questions. Yes, take care of this before you go on assignment, but I'm going to need you ready to roll ASAP. Got it? The noise level abated. Cap stood up, sucked in a huge gulp of air, and started pacing as he continued. The next piece of news. He stopped pacing and faced them. The power grid has been sabotaged. An unearthly quiet consumed the staff room. Yeah, we're not sure yet if it's hackers, if the physical delivery system has been breached, or both, but the bottom line is HQ has received a demand via ransomware. The quiet stretched another interminable minute. So, the city is currently running on backup generators, especially the hospitals and the internet. The Gov is trying to maintain communications, but things could get really hairy pretty quick. The solar network will help us if we ever get sun again. We've got to be prepared for panic, for riots and looting. Cap, how long do we have before this gets out? Brian Grimm shouted from the back. I don't know. Hank over at WUSA says calls are starting to come into the station, though they're still broadcasting, but obviously people are noticing. Their news desk is going to be putting out emergency bulletins in a few minutes. 911 dispatch already has all lines tied up. Not sure why. Get your water and hit the streets as soon as you can. And watch out, because the grocery stores are going to be hit as soon as word gets out. His last statement was punctuated by the siren screaming outside the station window as an ambulance slowed to plow through the flood where the overwhelmed street drain still gurgled. Oh my God, Joni whispered. Yeah, Terra acknowledged, standing up and heading toward Cap, dodging all the people hurrying past. What do you want us to do, Cap? Should we hit the street too? No, I need you two to stand by to help me coordinate responses. Cap's eyes already looked tired. What's your water situation? I've got the big filter at home and the portable, I think it's in my desk. I'll have to look, but these are the Sawyer kind, so I can filter rainwater or street water if I need to. I can stick around. Terra was suddenly really glad she'd followed her impulse when she was reading Joni's reports after researching survivalist gear. I'll bet Joni's good too, right? She glanced at her sidekick, who bobbed her head in acknowledgement. Good. I'm going to rely on you for my water, then. I've already called Christine, so she'll cover the house. He paused a moment, then picked up his phone and hit a button. Christine, don't go to the grocery. Go over to the outdoor store and get some of those Sawyer water filters. Yeah, thank Joni and Terra. Good. He clicked off his phone and faced them again. Joni, get some kind of comm line open to the power plant. We have about 2 days with the backup generators handling emergency power before this city goes dark. Thank goodness it's summer. He whirled and gestured for Terra to follow. Come on, we got to get some kind of plan going here. She trotted after him, glad she was still wearing her running shoes. Cap shut the door of his office with a deliberate click. As soon as they were private, Terra jumped in. Any idea who's behind this, Cap? Not a clue. That's what I want you to work on, Terra. Use the internet while you have it and call anybody you need to. Protocols are pretty much out the window. Your problem is going to be getting through the panic calls. Yeah, you're right. Where should I start, Cap? Terra was thinking hard. Terrorists? It's gotta be. Remember last month there was that flood on social media from a group calling themselves BTI? Cap rubbed his face. Sort of. Bioterrorists International? Terra remembered, vaguely. There's so much crap on social media these days that it's hard to know what to take seriously. Mugbook let them run wild for several days before their censors shut them down. There are probably others. I don't pay much attention to them, or I haven't. Start there, Cap frowned. We're taking them damn seriously now. Rather than go online, Terra picked up her phone and searched her contacts. Who was it at Mugbook? She couldn't remember the name, but she'd learned to put stuff in the notes section of her contacts. 3 names came up. Handy Carlson, Janine Saborski, Irene Blankenship. She rubbed her eyes, trying to remember who these people were. Her phone still had 83% power. She scrolled Handy Carlson's contact notes. Ah, some kind of whistleblower. First call 2 months ago, second call a week later. Oh no, that was right before I went to Molokai. She vaguely remembered thinking she just couldn't deal with it. Didn't I hand that off to someone? Joni, maybe? A shiver raced through her as she dialed the cell number, trying to call up a face to go with the name. Hello. The voice that answered was abrupt, taut, and shaky, and didn't tell Terra if she'd reached a man or a woman, only that this person was terrified. Hi, Handy. This is Terra Kano. We talked briefly a while back, and we're having some issues here that could be related to your information. Terra paused and waited, her heart thumping. The silence stretched long. Now you want to hear? Now, when it's already started? The words shrieked through the phone. Terra jerked it away from her ear and shook her head to silence the ringing in her ear. She switched to her other ear. Handy, I'm sorry. I was really under the gun at the time. I should have paid more attention. What about now? Can we talk? Meet somewhere? Terra's face flushed. Oh, hell no, I've got to get out of here. It's too late. I don't have time for anything else, the thin voice squealed. Handy, hold on a minute. Terra could hear panting and banging around that suggested her contact was in the middle of packing. Are you afraid for your life? We can protect you. Come on to the station and... Handy snorted. Protect me? Like you did Irene? She heard a couple of sobs and a sound like a suitcase zipper. Then, shit! Close, damn it, from a distance, as though the phone had been thrown down. Handy, pick up, Terra shouted. More cursing and banging around. Terra screamed, Handy! Then waited with her pulse pounding in her ears. Oh, fuck you, finally came through, muffled but distinguishable. Then, more clearly, when the phone was picked up again, fuck you, Kano. Stop, Handy. Breathe. Let me help you, Terra said as calmly and deliberately as she could. At the other end of the line, there was less background noise and louder crying. Apparently, Handy had stopped moving and given in to the sobs. While she waited for the weeping to subside, Terra quickly scrolled through the notes section of Irene Blankenship's contact. Ah, same division of Mugbook. Called the week after Handy's second call. Handy, did something happen to Irene? Terra ventured, then plopped down in the nearest chair as Handy wailed, then gasped for breath. They almost got us both, she heard. The only reason I wasn't in the crosswalk with Irene was my hat blew off just as we stepped off the curb. If I hadn't chased it, she was mowed down, Kano. I swear afterward, I realized that damn taxi accelerated, knocked Irene all the way across the other lane and hightailed it out of there. When, Handy? When did this happen? Terra held her breath. Last week, Tuesday. But then when Janine didn't come to work this week. Handy panted. I don't know what happened to her. She hasn't answered my calls, so I don't know, but it's not like her at all. I'm not taking any more chances. Does Janine work in the same department with you and Irene? Terra asked, her voice low. No, but she hung out with us. We were all friends. Obviously not a safe thing. Now I'm going, or I'll miss my flight. The voice had turned resolute. There's not going to be a flight, Handy, Terra interjected quickly. The airport's shut down. The only power in the county is emergency backup for hospitals and essential services. You can't get away. Your best bet is to come here. Let me help you. I'm sorry. Maybe it feels like too little too late, but we're your best chance at getting through this. Terra stood, needing to feel strong. The quick, shallow breaths on the other end of the phone deepened and slowed a bit. Terra heard a harsh exhale, and when Handy spoke again, the words dripped with resignation. Of course, everything's down. That's what they threatened. Terra waited, silent. Okay, Kano, I can't stay here and I've got nowhere else to go. I'll get there soon as I can. However long it takes, Handy? There's flooding and... Terra paused to read the note that Joni handed her. Traffic is jammed worse than usual because signals are out. I'll be here, and if you can help us, we'll make sure you get through this in one piece. If I can help you? What the hell? What if what I know doesn't make any difference now? What then? The voice on the other end was rising with hysteria again. No, Handy, that's not what I meant. I meant if you can help us, we'll be forever grateful, but we'll take care of you no matter what. Terra mentally cursed her faux pas, but kept talking. My office is on the 7th floor. I'll call reception and tell them I'm expecting you and they should bring you right up, okay? Handy hesitated, still breathing heavily. I guess it's not like I have a bunch of options here. Okay, I'm on my way. The phone went silent.